Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Peck, and Chris is here with me. And, well, remember our show that we did a couple of weeks back talking about what TNA needed to address to fix and make themselves better? They didn't. Chris, what are your thoughts?
Well, of course not. Why would they? That only makes sense.
I know, but the worst part is, ever since we did that show, it seems like they've gotten worse. It's like they took us, Hulk Hogan realized how much they hated us, and they did exactly the opposite of what we suggested.
I don't know who's actually booking this whole show every week, but I just want to strangle them. I mean, at least we got away from the Brooke Hogan, Bully Ray love.
Oh, no, we didn't.
But it's all coming back to us again in sheer horror and terror.
They're building towards a Brooke Hogan heel turn, which
Good.
I don't know
Maybe
how
she'll turn the other way
anymore.
She'll turn the other way and go like Samoa Joe did a couple of years ago. They throw her in a trunk.
Well, she's headed the way Samoa Joe's heading with her weight gain, but
Ugh. I mean, what is Brooke Hogan going to get us? What?
absolutely nothing. Although I
Exactly.
will admit that Taryn Terrell and Gail Kim had a very good last
Of course.
knockout standing match.
That'd be great, but like
No, they had it already. It had a slim version.
Wonderful.
It was really good.
But like that's what the focus should be on. Those guys, not Brooke Hogan. And it's always Brooke Hogan, you know.
Screen time.
I would never let her go 50 feet near a camera. I would get her the hell out of there.
No, I wouldn't either. I mean, her music career bombed. She was booed in WWE because people didn't want anything to do with her, and they knew that she was just the boss's kid.
She's fine as a manager, valet, or something, but not the center of the show. You can't do that. I'm sorry.
And I'm not talking about on camera either. We're talking about parking cars out in the lot for people.
Yeah, that's fine. You know what? I'm still frustrated with this yet again. I don't know if we covered this or not, but this whole what is this thing called again? It's not gut check. Stop it. We don't want a gut check. I don't want to hear about a gut check.
It's insulting to the performers that you
Yep.
have participating. It's insulting to the fans. And it makes you look like you have no idea how to book a wrestling show because instead of, you evaluating talent based on, height, weight, performance, you're having two guys that have never seen each other go out and work a match together, and then you're having an American Idol style competition where the fans and three people subjectively decide who gets a contract. No.
It was embarrassing to have Adam Pearce in that. Plus, imagine if Nigel McGuinness came and he was in that. You know how like degrading that is? And like when he came, he came as Desmond Wolfe, went right after Angle, had a great match.
And it worked.
Exactly.
His gimmick got over.
Adam Pearce comes, wrestles some Mexican guy I'd never heard of, wins, you don't see him again. That makes no sense, it's terrible. What they should do is have Adam Pearce come out, have a match, then have Colt Cabana come out and either stare at him from the stage or interfere in his match and get that best of 7 feud from the NWA thing going again. People would love that. But no, TNA does not do that. They don't think like that. They just mess it up in every way possible.
And for our viewers, we know that a lot of you aren't like us and you don't prefer TNA to WWE, or, a lot of you might actually prefer WWE. So let me put it to you like this. This would be like WWE Raw taking two guys that are trying for a contract on NXT that are never going to see the light of day in the main roster for at least 6 months, like TNA and OVW, and then putting that pre-NXT match on Monday Night Raw and fill up valuable camera time. Like, what sense does that make?
Is that still on that NXT thing?
Yeah, oh yeah. That's where they get half their people from now.
Oh, wow.
But, like, the thing is, like, you would not see that with any other wrestling company but TNA. They're so dysfunctional, they think it's okay.
I think it's a bad move. I think they need to get away from that and just debut the guys like they should.
I mean,
Duh.
the fans don't even cheer when Hulk Hogan announces the return of Gut Check. You just get a collective groan from the audience.
It's just boring. It's so boring. I mean, Joey Ryan was a great thing they did. They made him kind of like turn against it. That should have been the last Gut Check, and that was it. We don't need to keep this going because it's not helping. I think it's hurting more than helping.
It really is because, people just tune out. They don't know who these people are. Honestly, unless it's an independent wrestler from your area or you're really big into the indie scene and, that's what you like to do and you spend all your time looking up, like, Ladder Fight 6 or whatever the hell it is from some indie fed on a shitty handheld camera in your spare time, then okay, yeah, good for you. But the rest of us have no idea who these people are.
Yeah, man, I don't have a clue.
They're
Half
like,
of them.
oh, this is a great Chicago-based wrestler. Well, I'm from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I've never heard of this guy, therefore I'm changing the channel.
Yeah, they need to stop this and just debut these guys as is and just be done with it.
And then you turn around and they look like a created wrestler from SmackDown versus Raw. It's like, yeah, you're really going to get over. I really care about you.
Most of them don't. I mean, really, have any of these guys even really gotten a decent
push?
push?
The only one I was really
Except that
into
one guy.
was Taylor Hendricks because she was hot and that was it.
I mean, Christian
Christian
York.
No,
yeah.
now he's been jobbing though. He hasn't
Yeah,
won a match in months.
They need to bring Chase Stevens in, or they need to bring in like his other tag, Joey Mercury or somebody, team up with that guy. Just someone that, either make him a star or don't, and give him a tag partner or don't. But that's just a disaster. It's just so frustrating. It's just annoying watching all that and all their crap. God, who cares? And then Hogan's running the show and Sting's.
It's gotten to the point where his presence has become unbearable, though. I mean, he's really just...
But Hogan always does that. That's the problem. Like, he doesn't really contribute anything. He just hogs the spotlight and the money.
He's gotten even worse with it, though. I mean, he used to be okay about staying out of the limelight and everything, but I mean, ever since Bound for Glory, it's been the Hogan show.
Yeah, enough's enough. But that's Dixie Carter's fault. She's not a wrestling person. She's letting that all go to shit.
I mean, storylines are just getting dragged out longer and longer and longer. I mean, Aces and Eights is still going on, and they still have a losing record in wrestling matches.
Well, you were telling me the Main Event Mafia's coming back now?
To watch Sting's back, supposedly. Now, I don't know who's going to be in it, but I mean, really...
Like Steiner.
That'd be funny.
Steiner's back again.
Steiner with a microphone in front of his mouth and no legal restrictions about what he's allowed to say about Bischoff. That's something I would pay to see.
I like that concept, but the problem is, like, all the guys are in WWE now.
Except Kurt Angle. So what?
Yeah.
It's going to be the Main Event Mafia with two people?
Yeah.
Or are they going to put... Oh, God. If they do something stupid like put Magnus in it or some shit.
They will. Well, is Nash still signed or no?
No, Nash is with WWE. He has a Legends deal. He's not going back to TNA. He said they don't pay him enough. He won't go back.
Yeah, Booker T won't go. I mean,
hell no. Booker T has a elbow surgery he has to do anyway.
He's past his prime anyway.
Well, everyone in TNA is too anyway.
Good. I don't know if we talked about Joker's Wild last time, did we?
No, I don't think we did. I think our last one was actually pre-Joker's Wild.
I like the pay-per-view. It's pretty much Battle Bowl. If you haven't heard of Battle Bowl, then
it was better than Slammiversary, I'll tell you that much.
Oh, my God.
I got to admit, though, the AJ Styles Kurt Angle match at Slammiversary was not the god-awful rerun I expected it to be. It was actually something new.
But what are they doing with that, though?
Well, here's what really confuses me. AJ Styles has this new shirt that says no one, but, like, in the O, it has, like, P1, but the 1 looks like an H, so I'm like, wait. So it's like supposed to be like no more phenomenal one, I guess. But to me, it looks like his shirt says no phone. I'm like, AJ Styles doesn't have a phone.
He's phoneless, kids.
They're just basically trying to make him like the lone wolf.
Stupid,
basically
not gonna work.
Taker gimmick, and it's not working.
You don't do it like a 5'5" guy.
They gave him really slow country music, which is actually a really good song. But he comes out in this hooded thing and this black jacket and the black pants, and he looks like a midget impersonating the Undertaker. I've never laughed so hard as when I saw him. And then he takes off the hood, and he looks like somebody from One Direction. I can't take him seriously at all.
There's no direction with AJ Styles. That's clear, but I don't know. I gave up on him a long time ago. Joker's Wild was good. It was pretty much Battle Bowl. If you haven't heard of Battle Bowl, then you've been living under like your bed for the rest.
Or you were WWF fans and weren't sure what Battle Bowl was.
Yeah, Battle Bowl was basically WCW concept, which of course it was good. They would, draw the names at random, and then random teams would be made, and they'd wrestle each other, and then the end was a battle royal. This was a little bit different. They had like a gauntlet Royal Rumble style match at the end. And they didn't need to, but they did.
It would be 12 people from it would be the 6 winning teams, and then there would be one sole survivor in an over-the-top rope battle royal that won $100,000, which we know they don't even make in a year.
And of course, in TNA fashion, they ruin everything for you because they show you the matches before the pay-per-view even starts. They have all the
winners.
They show you everything
standing together.
So why even buy it after you got ripped off when you bought it? You actually got to see all the matches before they even started.
We just knew who was teaming with who.
Yeah, I didn't pay attention. We skipped it.
We thought it was like highlights from earlier matches. Or something. We didn't know what it was.
Whoever's in the editing truck, I won the smack. Because, why would you show the whole pay-per-view, who teamed with who, and ruin it for the fans right at the beginning of the show? That's true TNA fashion sloppiness. But anyway.
What we also didn't understand was Anderson was already in Aces and Eights at the time of it being filmed. And they addressed him as being so. But he came out and wrestled in his normal Ken Anderson gear.
Typical TNA, not, just sloppiness, just pure sloppiness. The matches were good. I thought it was a quality pay-per-view.
I did too. The match quality was very, very good, especially compared to some of the stuff at Slammiversary.
I mean, there's only 6 matches, but I'd say most of them were 20 minutes or more.
Yeah. Oh, definitely, easily. I mean, the last tag match we agreed did drag on a little bit, the one you fell asleep during, but
yeah, I passed out. I thought it was cool. It was like Battle Bowl fashion. Funny teams were made. Enemies were teaming with enemies and stuff. It was good. I liked it. And then the main event, we got to the gauntlet, which I thought was unnecessary. You don't need a gauntlet. Just have a battle royal because that's just easier. Gauntlets just drag on. They're boring.
Pretty much.
Yeah, there's no need. It was good, overall pay-per-view.
Oh, a new development from Joker's Wild. Guess who's no longer currently under contract at TNA?
Who?
Actually, 2 people.
Okay.
I'll give you a hint. They're both really good wrestlers, small size, but they're both good.
So Doug Williams and Kid Cash?
Yeah.
Okay.
Why are they not signed?
I don't... Well, Doug Williams is the OVW trainer, so I don't know.
Not anymore.
Okay.
Either that or he's not wrestling. Well,
He's probably
he might still be training, but he's not an active wrestler anymore. I don't know why.
That's lame. And then Kid Cash, I don't know the story on that one. But, like, Petey Williams is there, but he's still not on the roster page, so I don't get that either.
It makes no sense. Their X division is a mess. Now, here's my question.
Yes.
We have the Bound for Glory series going on, starting up actually really soon here.
Yeah.
We also have Chris Sabin as the new #1 contender because he's the X Division champion. Is Destination X still a pay-per-view? Because all Hulk Hogan said was that Chris Sabin gets a title shot sometime in the near future, but he didn't say when.
Yeah, that's still pay-per-view. It's the one and only thing, but he's going to have to wait like a whole year for it to happen.
No, he's not. He said he gets a title shot this summer.
Well, if he's wrestling at that pay-per-view, it's in a year, but I don't know.
But he can't. Unless they do that, and then...
Who knows?
I'm so confused. No, they can't do that, because RVD wrestled at the X Division one.
I don't know.
Yeah, because we were going to order it, remember? And we
I know, we farted up.
So...
Well, I mean, who won Joker's Wild again? Storm.
Yeah.
That was great. Great ending. It was good. God bless it. Slammiversary, we don't care. So now we're worried about Chris Sabin and his... who is... He's the X guy, right?
He's the X Division champion, but he gets a shot at Bully Ray whenever he gives up the belt to fight Bully Ray sometime over the summer, but they're still having him screw with Kenny King for no reason.
So they totally screwed up that concept because they said every year at Destination X, your pay-per-view... You see, TNA, once again, not following concepts, not following storylines, sloppy booking. So he's not going to do that, apparently. And
well, he's going to get his title shot. We just don't know when. It'll probably be on Impact, and nothing will come of it.
Yeah, once again, a botched storyline.
Although it makes no sense for him to take the belt, no matter how good of a wrestler he is, because then you completely ruin the setup for taking the belt away from Bully at Bound for Glory.
Of course. Remember how last year they signed Kenny King and he came in?
We thought he was going to be so
great. Boy.
He feuded with Rob Van Dam, and then he became horrible.
I know. Well, that's TNA. Bad booking. It's just bad booking.
I mean, I was completely disinterested in Kenny King after a month and a half. I'm like, this guy's awful. I've given him a couple of chances. He can't wrestle.
They just made him boring. I mean, they did not...
His music is absolutely terrible.
Atrocious.
But, and then, okay, you have Sting now. He's reforming the Main Event Mafia. Bully Ray retained. Sting is no longer allowed to challenge for the World Heavyweight title. Now, with Hulk Hogan in charge, we know that stipulation will go out the window in about 3 weeks.
Absolutely. He'll be in Bound for Glory or something, probably.
Yeah, but, I mean, what's the point? And then AJ Styles isn't supposed to be allowed to fight for it until Bound for Glory, so is he just going to win the Bound for Glory series by default?
I don't know. I'm lost.
I mean, they're building up for him to face Bully Ray, but God knows when.
Why is Bully Ray the champion? I mean, that's my theory.
Well, hey, I mean, it's good, it's over, but why is the rest of Aces and Eights losing matches left and right, and he's the only one that can win?
Sloppy booking. I mean, they're apparently not much of a threat if you can beat them all very easily.
And
with little effort.
If they're supposed to have strength in numbers, why do they always lose tag matches? That's what makes no sense, like, to me.
Awful.
Poor Ken Anderson, it's Slammiversary. They gave him Briscoe and Bischoff as tag partners. I'm like, well, you just basically put Anderson in a 5-on-1 handicap match.
Briscoe's horrendous. He can't talk.
He's not worse than Garrett Bischoff.
Yeah, Bischoff's
or Daniel Bryan, but he's pretty damn bad.
I don't know. I hope that breaks up pretty soon, fizzes out. You know, I'm tired of them. It's just uninteresting.
Yeah, but typical TNA, if it was something good, it'd be over by now. And since it's something horrible, it's going to keep going on and
Absolutely.
on and on. At least they got rid of D'Lo Brown.
Yeah, I mean, maybe that's a guy that the fans never could get into. He just never could, get a reaction.
He did have a good match with Angle in his I Quit match, but that was about it.
Yeah. He was always just kind of there, D'Lo. I just, not much to go with there.
No, not at all.
I honestly haven't watched the full Impact in a while, so I couldn't tell you what the hell's going on, but I'm sure it's nothing good.
James Storm and Gunner are new tag champions, so...
Okay, I'll give him that, but where's that going to go?
Here's the problem, though. You just took somebody that was supposed to be feuding for a world title. Remember how good his match was with Bobby Roode about
and
he's been working tag matches ever since? So you just took one of your big country southern draws and you just put him in another tag team. It's good for Gunner. It's not really good for James Storm.
Yeah, why did that all just go in the crapper with James Storm? I really thought Bound for Glory was going to be his title shot again. That would make sense. That would be going with the storyline.
Well, we didn't really expect them to take the belt off of Bobby Roode and give it to Austin Aries. Don't get me wrong, that wasn't a bad move. I like the match that, Aries and Hardy had at Bound for Glory, but, Aries was the hot thing. I don't blame them. But at the same time, it's like, I'm sorry, but everyone wanted... Or you know what? Honestly, Bobby Roode should have lost the belt at Lockdown to James Storm.
Yeah, I think so, too.
I think that's what we all agree on. I mean, they did have a really great match at Bound for Glory, thank God for that, but it didn't get any of them anywhere. Aries is working tag matches with Rude. Storm is now in a tag team. You just took 3 of your biggest stars and we're like, well, screw you.
We're back to square one, yeah.
And then Kaz and Daniels. Again, 2 guys that can be standout singles performers in a tag team. Chavo and Hernandez shouldn't have contracts, but they're in a tag team.
I don't. No one cares about them.
Absolutely no one. You know what? It's bad when I don't even have the willpower to boo.
Every time I hear Chavo Guerrero, I just laugh. I mean, he's a respectable guy, and God bless him. He's a professional.
Probably a really nice person.
Yeah, he's a great wrestler.
I just don't care.
He's like the D'Lo Brown. No one cares.
Same with Hernandez. I'm like, I really can't get into your gimmick at all. You're not funny. You haven't changed your look in like 5 years. I
wouldn't have even brought Chavo Guerrero over for the invasion.
I wouldn't even have paid Chavo Guerrero.
I don't know how the hell he stayed in WCW for so long. I mean, Jesus.
Eddie.
Yeah. Because
Eddie was United States champ for a while.
I don't know. I mean, I guess the contract thing worked out, but Jesus. I mean, ugh. There's really, I mean, Matt Morgan and TNA has, that's just a lost cause. I don't know what they're doing with that.
By the way, ever since he passed out in the #1 contenders match to Sting, he hasn't been on the show. I haven't heard anything about him.
Yeah, what are they doing with him?
I don't think he's even in the Bound for Glory series. I think there was a quadruple threat match, and Magnus won it. It was Joseph Park, Matt Morgan, and somebody else, and Magnus won. And, I guess Matt Morgan's not in the Bound for Glory series now?
Sure, why not? Are they doing anything? Aren't they putting a group together of Joey Ryan and the Jersey Shore guy and all them? Are they all getting together as a group? Jesse?
They've been together, and Rob Terry's just been beating the living hell out of every member of it.
That's a good idea. They seem
No, it isn't.
They're all weirdos, and you got to put them together, but they need a manager to bind the group.
They fired Cookie. She's been gone for a year and a half. What are we going to do?
They can call the group Sexy Sleaze. And they can get them a good manager that can talk, and it'd be funny. They can get that group over, but see, they need someone to help put that together.
Bad Influence already stole the comedy tag team thing, so what are they going to do?
I don't know. I mean, you get someone like Joel Gertner with them, call it Sexy Sleaze, big funny group, it would get over. You just got to give it a little time, boom. I would see that 3 months being a fun group, and they can win the tag belts.
A little bit off of the wrestling subject, but still within what TNA has been screwing up. Know our biggest complaint about them over the years has been their commentating. Guess what they went and did?
Yep.
They recently brought in a new guy, Todd Kennelly. Not a bad guy. Seems like an okay human being.
Yeah.
Called a decent match. Taz basically ran him out of town, and he is now no longer part of the announce team.
Yeah, apparently they just made cuts or something. I'm like, wow, the guy that you could actually stand is gone. Now we're back to the other 2 Yutzes.
I actually went back and watched episode Impact 535, Todd Kennelly's last Impact, and he doesn't talk much at all. And then, his conversations with Taz have nothing to do with the match, and at one point he goes, I forget what Mike Tenay goes, well, people here like you, Todd, and he goes, yeah, that's up for debate with 2 of the people at this desk right now.
Nice.
Right during the main event, and then Taz didn't have anything to say, and Tenay just did a really awkward segue to the next move.
Nice.
I mean, why get rid of Todd Kennelly? Why?
I get rid of those other 2 Yutzes. Freaking take the mic off both of them. Never give back to them ever again.
I don't really mind Mike Tenay just because I'm so used to him droning in my ear constantly. Yeah. But Taz is so bad that I actually miss Don West.
Well, yeah. Taz can't speak proper English, first off. And he just has horrible analogies. His jokes aren't funny. He's terrible. Awful. Get him off the mic as quick as possible. Get someone that can speak the English language. I don't care if you got to put Christy Hemme on there. Whoever you're going to get. But just get him out.
Yeah, I mean... It's bad. I thought they were finally going to phase him out when he joined Aces and Eights.
Yeah. I wish they would have. God, I wish they would have. But see, that's what I'm sick of. Every time someone gets released from WWE or Ring of Honor, TNA has to jump on it and, bring them in. You don't need to do that. Make your own announcers.
And here's the other problem I have with TNA. The world title is basically going to be held hostage until Bound for Glory because there's not enough events they can defend it except on Impact. And we know damn well he's not going to lose to, Jeff Hardy on Impact. So we're basically stuck with Bully Ray and a storyline that's going nowhere. And we're not going to get anything out of it. I mean, very little, what's a 12-minute world title match on Impact going to do for me? Nothing.
Absolutely nothing. Ric Flair's gone, right? He's not there anymore.
Oh, he's been gone. But no RVD. I'm still bitter about that.
Yeah, is he going to sign with them or not?
Well, he's not going to go to WWE. He can't. He likes marijuana too much. He can't.
Well, I guess we got to talk about the big signing. Well, they say it's the big signing.
The infamous free agent acquisition of 2013 summer that Dixie Carter promised us. The one Chris and I speculated over and over, and I had prayed that it was just them bringing RVD back, or someone floated out, hey, maybe it's MVP. And several big-name former wrestlers also jumped on Twitter and said, it is absolutely not me, I will never work for them. Bill Goldberg and Batista.
Yeah.
Completely shot them down, said they're a low-rent promotion, I'll never go there.
We're not working for that crap.
So, your big free agent wrestling signee, not a wrestler. He's an amateur wrestler in one discipline. He's a mixed martial artist, quote unquote. He's not King Mo, but he is Rampage Jackson.
Oh, God.
Why? What in the hell is he going to do? The guy hasn't been relevant since 2007, even in Ultimate Fighting. He hasn't won any matches. He doesn't even have a UFC contract anymore. He's going to Bellator, which gets higher ratings than Impact.
Was he in UFC, this guy, Rampage?
Oh, yeah. But he hasn't had a fight in a while.
Yeah, I'm thinking, like, this guy, he's probably been a free agent for, like, 6 years.
No. He's been a free agent for about a year. He lost his last fight to an up-and-coming light heavyweight.
Was he in UFC?
Oh, yeah. He was one of their main guys in UFC, but he hasn't been a champion for a long time.
Is he a light heavyweight?
Yeah, 205-pounder. But he walks around. He walks around at about 220, 230.
That's something. I thought he was, like, 270 or something.
Well, the way he looks. He's big, but he's short.
That's lame.
I mean, he probably, legitimately out of shape, just bulk muscle. Probably he could be 250, but he's not that big of a guy. You look at him and Angle, they're about the same height.
He's like my size.
Yeah, so, but again, what is it going to do? It's going to be just like King Mo. King Mo had a confrontation with Bobby Roode in there when he was when he was the referee for him and James Storm.
Mm-hmm.
King Mo got knocked out his first Bellator fight, or second. He's never been on the show since.
Yeah, that totally didn't work out. And then TNA always wastes time on people that we don't care about.
So they had Angle have a face-off with Rampage on Impact, and, people were kind of interested, kind of like channeling the whole Mike Tyson, Steve Austin thing.
Yeah.
Like
20 years too late.
17 years too late, yeah. So nothing's going to come of it, I don't think. Plus, did you hear his contract isn't just with TNA, it's with TNA, Spike, and Bellator.
So he'll never be on the show.
No, essentially not.
Of course.
TNA is actually the bottom of the pecking order right now. His contract, first of all, is with Bellator, then Spike, then TNA.
Why waste? See, we're wasting time on people that aren't going to be on the show.
We thought it was John Morrison and we were satisfied. Come on, that's how bad TNA is right now, that we're okay with it being John Morrison.
I wonder if he would come to TNA.
I don't even
I doubt
care.
it, but
Probably not. He was fighting Kozlov in Russia the last I heard.
Bring Kozlov in, he'll just
roll around like a slug till Edge comes out and mercifully saves the match in a match he wasn't even supposed to be involved in.
Oh my god. Kozlov would be like a good bodyguard type character, but I don't know what you're going to do with him.
I don't know. However, as bad as TNA
is, we don't care anymore.
We figured we should at least keep you abreast of some of what's going on in WWE. Let me just start by saying Mr. Perfect did make one mistake. His name is Joe Hennig. He's Mr. Perfect's son. His gimmick is Curtis. Axl Rose. No, that's not it. Pete. No. Axel Curtis. No. Johnny Curtis. No. Johnny Swinger. Simon Diamond. Axel. No. Curtis Axel. That's it. That's his
Simon Dean.
No. So he looks like a homeless pirate. He has a weird beard and really wet hair. He's winning every match by countout.
So lame.
What is his finisher exactly if you win every match by countout? They're doing a Triple H head injury storyline where he's not supposed to wrestle, which makes no sense because WWE's stance on concussions. You have... I don't follow NXT. I don't know who any of these people are. I saw a trailer Monday night, and it just disturbed me. I didn't know what the hell it was supposed to be for. Apparently it's from something called the Wyatt family. I don't know if there's supposed to be a play on the Manson family. It was shot on a handy cam, a shaky one, and there's a random man in a sheep mask. And they have a big, fat, bearded guy that looks like he's JoJo from Finding Bigfoot, but he isn't. And apparently they're supposed to be making their new debut, and this is supposed to be their new group.
Did Zeb Coulter come out and start shooting them all?
I wish.
Where did Zeb Coulter go? Is he still on the show?
Well, Zeb Coulter is still on the show, but Jack Swagger has a hand injury.
Oh, good.
So Zeb Coulter is helping out on commentary, which I wish I had the privilege of hearing. And I think he has a new client. I think his client is...
Me.
All of us. No, we're just supporters. I don't know. I can't remember who it was, honestly. It was someone that he was very proud of for like beating up Alberto Del Rio. I don't remember who it was.
Beating up the illegal. Oh my god.
It doesn't really matter, but whoever it was, it made me laugh, and I was like, okay, that makes sense. At least they're getting a push.
It's amazing how WWE, see, they can create they know how to create characters. Like, they'll take a guy...
Not really, not with this NXT garbage.
Well,
this
not that.
league, except for the Shield. I like the Shield.
Well, the old school stuff, like Zeb Coulter, that's, you know, Uncle Zebekiah, who is, you know, Dutch Mantel, and so on. But, like, a simple guy like that TNA could not do anything with. They bring this guy in.
They throw a vest on him and
look,
give him a right-wing promo,
talk,
and it works.
Yeah. TNA doesn't know how to do any of that shit.
He got Jack Swagger over. Do you know how impossible that is to do?
Oh my god, it's like trying to put a rock over. It's just nothing.
But it worked.
I know. Jack Swagger should be nowhere near a ring, but he's in it.
Or a world title.
Oh my god.
Which, let's not forget, he was a world heavyweight champion. Although so is Daniel Bryan, and that man doesn't deserve it. I don't care what any of you indie wrestling fucks say. He can't wrestle. If he has a match with anything bigger than a Chucky doll, he can't pick them up, and all he does is leg kicks.
Yeah, I hate all that martial arts BS when they're not really martial artists. It's annoying.
Yeah.
But
then CM Punk hasn't wrestled in 6 weeks because of his leg injury. You know, more power to him. He's wrestling Chris Jericho. No one cares. Jericho hasn't won a match in months either, except over Fandango once.
Jericho's still there.
Yeah, he came back for his, Mania run, and then he takes a vacation in August or whatever to film Robot Wars or whatever the hell it is.
Is SmackDown still on?
Oh yeah, but no one watches it.
When is that on? Fridays?
Yeah, the worst night to ever schedule a wrestling event.
No one's gonna watch it.
No one with friends.
Does it still look like SmackDown, or is it just like this
No,
weird...
it still looks like SmackDown. It just sucks.
Yeah.
But I mean, you get all the SmackDown people on Raw anyway, so why would you watch SmackDown?
So they stopped that brand stuff where they just...
No. They still have the brand world titles. They're just on both shows.
Yeah, so there's no more like, this guy's only on this show and he doesn't...
Well, put it this way, though. If you have the WWE title, the opening of the show is reserved for you, and typically the main event is reserved for you. Your World Heavyweight title, you get 9 and 10 o'clock. That's your big spot.
It's always a B title, though, when it really shouldn't be. It should be the main title. It's the World Heavyweight title.
Well, it was. I mean, remember they used to alternate at WrestleMania, and they would switch off?
Yeah.
And for a while it was. Because you remember 23 and 24... Actually, no. At 23 it was defended first, but at least at 24 it was defended last, and WrestleMania 21 it was defended last.
It's always going to be the WCW title to me. So, I mean, really, like, it's that ego thing. They won't let that be the big title.
Well, I like the fact that they do have 2 world champions because, I mean, no one could suffer through another year-long Cena reign if there's only 1 world title.
He's too old, too.
I just think he's just been limited for so long in terms of what he could do. He's better than Ryback. I can't stand that guy. That gigantic vein cannot wrestle, and I actually would prefer Cena to keep the belt than see him win anything.
I don't even care. Ryback is just Goldberg again.
No, Goldberg had more talent, and I didn't like Goldberg. I'll be honest, I hated Bill Goldberg, but Ryback has less talent.
Goldberg's like the warrior, trying to have a career about, he's like the guy that's having a career about not coming back to wrestling. That's what he's trying to do. Like
pretty much, that's all that either one of them talk about is, oh no, I didn't sign here, I'm not coming here, that's just a rumor.
They make a career out of it. I don't know.
So yeah, nothing interesting is going on really in either company right now. ROH is floundering. They're pretty terrible as well right now.
I think they came here, right?
They did. We didn't go.
Fine.
It wasn't worth the money. I said, Kevin Steen's not world champion anymore. I'm not going.
They don't give you like the best of the best. They give you like sort of decent wrestling when they come.
The problem with them is they have all their TV tapings, and we know damn well that they're not going to lose the world title at our TV taping when they have pay-per-views coming up. I
like that Scum group, though. I think that's kind of funny. But there's no one...
No, you know what, though? I don't, because I like their original name either. For a week and a half, they were Evil. And I like that, because no wrestling group ever just called themselves straight up Evil. And then they became Scum. I'm like, that's disgusting. I don't want to be called Scum. Yeah. I'd rather be Evil. And Steve Corino had this really cool shirt. It said Live on it, but the E was reversed, so that you would pronounce it Evil, and it had like an arrow. I wanted that shirt. And then they became Scum.
I'm telling you, a wrestling group called Sexy Sleaze would be great. You'd get over.
But they made Scum like an acronym, and I was trying to figure out what it stood for. All I came up with was Steve Corino, and that's all the further I got. And then Steen's not part of it anymore, so he's like fighting with all those dirty people. and like Steve Carino's like their Vince McMahon that actually wrestles in it. It makes no sense.
Yeah, why not?
Their world champion is one of the idiot Briscoes. That's horrible. Why the hell would you break up that tag team and have one of them be a world champion ever?
They look kind of ghetto, those guys, the Briscoes. I mean, it's kind of hard to believe that they're like Jack and Jerry Briscoe's kids or whatever.
I thought they were. I honestly thought it was spelled differently, and they weren't. I didn't know they were actually his kids.
They've been in Ring of Honor forever, for God's sake.
I hate them.
I don't know what Ring of Honor is going to do.
At least that Matt Taven guy that we both agree is a good wrestler is their TV champion.
Oh, that's nice. At least they're doing that. Didn't that guy leave with that former WWE girl? Didn't they both leave?
Oh, you mean Maria? And,
yeah, that other guy. I think they left.
That big dude, Mike Bennett.
Yeah.
He's not really big, but he put on a lot of muscle.
Yeah, I think
They went to tryouts, but they didn't. I don't think they got signed yet.
No, I guess they won't.
I mean, he's of the ROH people. He's the most WWE friendly body and style, but I don't think they're going to pick up on him. He's like 30.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, the age isn't really anything in WWE, but it's just like you'd think they would have gotten him by now.
Maybe TNA will sign him.
No, that's a good idea. They won't sign him.
Of course not.
They'll wait till they release. I don't know. Not Zack Ryder. Who else are they not doing anything with? They'll pick up Drew McIntyre once they get rid of him.
I'm always thinking of the summer 2009 with all those groups. Remember that United Nations group where it was like Mexico, Canada?
World Elite. That was terrible. Was that really 2009?
Yeah.
What year did RVD come? Was that 2010?
Yeah, he came in March. He drop kicked Sting in the face or something, or like kicked him.
And then he beat him with Rolling Thunder. He didn't even frog splash him.
It was amazing.
Yeah, 2009 we had World Elite.
And
it just reminded me of Bison's group from Street Fighter.
It was like every country together.
And Eric Young was the leader. I'm like, this is terrible.
No wonder it didn't succeed.
And then, by the way, this is random. My mom very rarely comments on wrestling, but she took the time to tell me that she doesn't like Eric Young and he's a very weird and creepy little man because of his voice. And I'm like, well, yeah, I agree.
That was weird. He was in lockdown this year. I was just like, and Eric Young, why not? That was horrible too.
So there was them, there was Fortune, there was Evie. No, wait, that didn't happen yet.
Well, that was afterwards, but like...
Was Fortune there, though?
No, because that's when Flair came. This was all before Flair. It was like World Elite, Main Event Mafia, and then you just had like the TNA Originals or some shit.
Not the Boricuas, Los Loca. What the hell was the Mexican group?
They were
619. No,
they were
LAX. That was it. They were there.
Everyone was involved in this main event, like World Elite thing. Like it was just ridiculous.
But they were never involved in the main event. They would. No. I don't even think they ever held a title except the. You remember the global title that we were like, isn't this just a world title? Eric Young had that. It
was like the global, then it was like the TV.
Still the TV.
It was the Legends, then it was the TV. It's like, what is this belt?
It was the global, then it was the Legends, then it was the global, then it was the.
Yeah.
It didn't make sense though because AJ Styles won it when it was the Legends title. I'm like, aren't you under the age limit?
Well, in that, it's like this title is an identity crisis. It doesn't know what it wants to be. I just remember the World Elite and everybody fighting on that one episode of like Impact. It was just the whole fucking locker.
I just remember the Asian guy that they had that never ever had a change of pants or shirt.
Yeah,
he wore the same thing and he never wrestled.
Yeah, I don't remember. Yeah, he was terrible. I think he also never mind. He was just. I remember that they had that Kato guy. It was almost like the choppy pee-pee incident.
Was he the guy that was with Samoa Joe?
Yeah,
Is
Hodo.
2009 when Samoa Joe got thrown into a van and we didn't see him for 8 months?
No, that's 2010. That was a blessed day. I think it was the same time like RB.
Is that really how bad 2009 was that I keep confusing it for 2010?
Well, it was quite up there. I mean, but it was getting better though. I could tell 2009 was starting to,
Well, it was after Judas Macias and the Pink Door. Nothing was as bad as that.
Magnus came and killed Sharpwood and several others. So I mean, we're getting on the right path.
And then they stopped breaking the same part of the stage every week.
Ugh. And then you start seeing the other guys coming in. Like the Pope came in, and then
that's
Jethro Holiday, and
that was terrible. I hated the Pope.
And they had a Holiday, and then they had Desmond Wolfe came, and you could just tell. But I was worried when Wolfe came because it was bad timing because Hogan came right after them. Like, oh, there goes him. No, they kept him around for a while.
If he hadn't gotten sick and they didn't start jobbing him, it would have been a lot better.
I know. I liked him as London Brawling. That was a good idea. That just didn't.
Do you remember the pay-per-view they were supposed to debut as a tag team? They weren't able to make it.
Yeah, that was the end. Oh god, that's enough.
So that's pretty much the current state of wrestling.
Let's go nowhere,
whatever
kids.
WWE's last pay-per-view was bad. WWE Payback is probably going to be even worse because you got to sit through 3 stages of Ryback and Cena. It's going to be a lumberjack match at a pay-per-view. Why not? A tables match and then an ambulance match for all the fans that need adrenaline after passing out from boredom.
We need a bomb match. I don't know. I can't even. I have nowhere to go from here.
No, me neither. I'm Peck.
Just good night.